This is Ben, Liam and Belle on Nova.
G'day there, podcaster.
Yeah, fun episode today.
Is it? Sorry.
Well, it is.
You start everyone like that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's
fun
good.
show today.
Yeah, Liam, do you think Belle crying is fun?
Well, she's going to make me cry with all this bullying she's been doing.
It's a good point, Belle.
You hypocrite.
Sorry?
Now she's calling me names. You see that?
Do you want me to bring up what you guys do in the office?
What do we do? What are you trying to
You
say?
come up and pretend to punch me.
Well, we pretend to punch everyone on the team.
Yeah.
And just because you are a different gender to us doesn't mean you're not included.
We treat everyone equal.
Obviously, we're not actually hitting anyone, but sometimes if someone says something stupid,
Yeah.
you got to pretend to punch them.
Yesterday, Ben,
And Belle just happens to say more things that are stupid.
yesterday, Ben wheeled himself on his chair from across the entire room to then come over and go tss, 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 and then roll back.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah. 1, 2.
You've got to make the noises.
Well, it's progressed because we used to, pretend to shoot people in the team.
Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew,
Sometimes
pew,
we stab and
roll.
go...
Yeah, that is also we proper wet people up. Wallahi. Anyway, let's get into the actual podcast. Okay, yes, there is some sad bits in it. Belle, opens up and it gets pretty personal. There's also some silly stuff in there as well. So enjoy.
Good morning, Melbourne, and happy Wednesday.
Oh, wild weather last night. I wouldn't know because I went to bed straight after the Andy Murray game. Yes, that's right. I watched it. I'm a tennis guy now, Ben and Belle. After I saw my first game on Monday, bitten by the bug. Did you see the Berrettini Murray
absolutely
match?
not.
No?
I was in bed, but...
a 5-set epic. I mean, I'm practically hooked now. I can't believe you guys missed it.
Is that the game that finished at like 1 a.m?
No. This is the one that finished about like 6:55.
Oh, you actually watched
I
it?
think, yeah. I actually did watch it. The Djokovic one went after that.
Yeah,
and,
right.
I didn't catch that one because that finished in the early hours.
You are a tennis guy now.
Yeah, I am. I hopefully I can get Djokovic on chase play or something today.
I watched...
Hope I taped it.
I watched the Big Bash last night. The Strikers got smashed by the Sixers. Unfortunately, Smith got 100, which is always impressive, even if it's the team you're playing against. And then, so I turned that off because it was annoying me, and then I watched The Last of Us, Belle.
Okay, well, that's good because I watched the film that we are interviewing Sam Worthington for later this morning. And
I'm glad someone
made
did.
sure I did the real research. Great that you were watching whatever the hell you were watching,
This is
Ben.
true. Sam Worthington and one of the other actors in the film that Ben and I have seen will be coming up later on in the show.
Ben, Liam and Belle.
It's not too late for a cheeky summer break.
Whatif.com has awesome deals for top Aussie destinations.
Plus all kinds of places to stay for your getaway.
Jump on the Whatif app to book your hotels, motels, holiday rentals and more.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
We're a new show here in Melbourne on Nova 100, but I mean, what is it, like our 6th week or something like that?
Well, we started the start of December.
Yeah, when all the other shows finished up, we sort of thought we'd start a little early. And so you're probably getting to know us a little bit. I'm Liam speaking right now. I'm the one who puts things in my mouth and sings Sam Smith songs.
I am Ben. I can probably be a bit grumpy at times.
And I'm Belle. I'm the newest edition.
Yeah, and we're thinking, you know what? So you can get to know us more, maybe you can trust us more, if we give you a little secret. Something that none of the other radio stations in town would be comfortable sharing. An industry secret, if you will.
One that we all find quite amusing.
Well, it's one of those things that, like, it's just a part of our everyday lives working in radio. But I suppose if you listen to the radio, you wouldn't know it's a thing, right?
And it's also a way for us to get to know you listening and you who calls into the show, how we can get to know you better.
So if you didn't know, every time you call our radio station, your name comes up on the screen if you've called before.
Yeah.
And then what happens is the producers screen you.
Yeah, and you get a rating out of 5. So next time when you call, it's like, oh, that person's 5 stars. They were really fun. They were not, they had that funny story or whatever. Or if they sucked, 1 star.
They also put little hot words next to your name, which I find quite amusing.
You might have like Jess, 25, bubbly, or it might be like David, bit boring, takes too long to get to his story. You know what I mean? Like literally. So we in here, we've got a little screen, and we're just seeing these calls coming through.
Yeah.
We're making judgments on you before we've even spoken to you.
So Belle, you produced us for years now on air full time. You can probably explain this better than anybody.
Well, you kind of covered it off, but yeah, so I've been answering phones for you guys for 5 years before this. I was answering phones for another almost 5 years before that. And you learn very quickly your regulars. You learn the people that will call in for everything. You also learn the people that will call in just for prizes. And if you didn't
What do we
know,
call
it's
those,
not
Belle?
just... It's a little prize piggy.
Yep.
In the industry,
Now-
you're known as a prize pick if you win too many prizes.
Old school style, you'd have the phone lines, literally phone lines would light up, and it was just an analog phone. Now we have a computer screen. When you call in, it's a whole program that you call into, and with that, you pop up your name, your suburb pops up, and yes, all the little notes that I have written next to you.
If this has got your cogs turning in your brain and you're wondering, what have they said about me? What's written next to my name? Well, this is where we'll go one step further. You call us 13 24 10. We'll put you on air and we'll tell you exactly what it says next to your name.
We'll give you your rating. And people love this. You know, when you check your Uber app and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
what's mine? And everyone checks theirs. So you'll never know. This is the only time we're ever going to tell you what
Yep.
your rating is. So if you've called before, give Ben, myself, and Belle a buzz right now and we will tell you your rating. Here's the handbook that they give you on day one of radio. Ripping it up. Okay? Throw it away.
If you got thick skin, 13 24 10, give us a buzz because we will tell you exactly what it says about you in our information on the screen.
Natalie joins us now. You're 25 years old, is that right?
G'day, yes, I am. I'm so
Okay.
nervous.
Yeah, I know, right? And because here's the thing, Nat, because normally it's just a wonderful producing team here. They're putting the notes only for us. It's not for you to ever see. So they can be quite scathing.
So I can see there's a bit of stuff written here, Nat. Before I tell you what it says, though, I'm wondering how often are you calling the radio station?
I would say I go on and off, but when I am active, I think a few times a week, I would
Wow,
say.
that's pretty regular.
Okay. Yeah, righto.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to know your rating?
Yeah.
You're a
I
4.2.
do, I'm nervous.
Which is good. That's
Pretty good.
Out of
4 point,
5,
yeah.
that's good. And it says...
Is that a round of applause? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's
no,
good.
it's good.
That's good. And it says, you're a big vibe.
I'm a big boss. Oh, that's made my day. That's made my day.
It also says here that you've won a JB High Five voucher before. It doesn't say when, though. Was that a while ago, or...?
Yeah, it was a while ago. It was early last year, yeah.
And out of interest, what did you spend that JB High Five voucher on?
Yeah.
I actually bought a new coffee machine.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty good.
It was a dream. Well, it is a dream. It's still making delicious coffees for me and my partner every morning. So
Nice.
very happy with that. Very
Oh,
happy.
nice. Well, congrats, Nat. You can definitely come back on. We won't ban you.
Yeah.
Jaden, 26 in Mitcham. Good morning.
Good morning.
This matches your notes, Jaden.
Do you reckon? I think it's too soon to judge.
No, Jaden. So, Jaden, have you called the Ben, Liam and Belle show before, or did you call Chrissy, Sam and Brownie more regularly?
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie more regularly. I've tried a couple of times with you guys, but you guys seem quite popular on the phone.
Oh, well, that's nice of you to say.
Jaden,
Or is it
do you-
because of your rating?
Yeah, well, that too.
Do you have any idea what it would say next to your name?
No clue, honestly.
And Jaden,
yeah.
have you ever had an experience where you've called up and you've told a story or whatever, and then you thought, oh, that didn't go as well as I thought it would, maybe?
Pretty much every time.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we probably need to update what it says because I like you.
I like you. I like you too.
Okay, so Jaden, before we give you your actual rating, I will read what we've got here. You're calm, collected, and it does say disinterested. So that's a red flag already as soon as you call in. But I will say, are you enjoying your Oodie that you won?
Yes, very much so. It's had a
Well,
good workout.
I'm sure that would have been nice to wear to grill to when you went there with your voucher that you also won. Well, I'm sorry to say, Jaden, and I'll have a quiet word to
Yep.
the guys doing the phones and say, hey, we got to jack this guy's rating up a bit because I like you and I feel like you can call any time, but you are coming in at a 2.6.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's okay. That's
Yeah.
midway.
See, disinterested.
Yes, it's not a great rate.
It's not great, man. Like if a 2.6 calls up, we're not. You know what I mean? Like, we're not
The
gonna.
thing is, Jaden, like I, as an ex-producer, this is the thing. I'd know that when you won that Oodie, you wouldn't have given us the, oh my God. You would've
Yeah,
gone,
that's
yeah, great,
right.
thanks. And
Yeah,
you know
true.
that from a mile away. So you go, well, don't give it to
So
him.
when Natalie, who just joined us, when she got her JB Hi-Fi
Yes.
voucher, she would have been screaming like she won a car. You couldn't care less. But
Let's go
We
to
do
another
like you,
one.
Jaden.
We got Cass in Kilsyth South. Good morning, Cass. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good.
too bad.
Did you enjoy your 31st birthday that you had recently?
Oh, loved it. It was, such a big milestone.
See? We know that. We know that about you before you've even
Yeah,
gone
that's
on air.
creepy.
Yeah, it is a bit.
Just before we give you your rating, it looks like you've won some pretty good prizes.
Yeah.
Cass.
I have. I'm a little bit of a prize whore, if you
Oh,
like.
you don't say, Cass.
Well, yeah,
You
we don't
say.
really use that word in the system.
It's a
we're
prize
not,
pig.
Yeah, we're not that scathing, but you've won $1,000. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. It was a while
think
ago.
so?
But
So you
don't
yeah,
even-
it was good.
I mean, you've won so many prizes, you can't even remember winning $1,000 off a radio
That's
station.
right. It's just, water off a duck's back.
Yeah, so,
Okay,
so
well-
you won a 250 Minimax voucher.
I did. Mm-hmm.
What else?
I sure did.
Off the top of your head, what else have you won from Nova over the years?
I don't think there's anything else, but I've definitely called before and, won some praise, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Cass, no surprises. You do have prize pig written next to your name. Now, that's not not necessarily a bad thing because
Oink, oink.
to become a prize pig, you do have to have good energy.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? Like, we just had Jaden on. He might be a piggy, but he doesn't have good energy. So
Yeah.
That's it.
slim chances of
Look,
getting on.
the bigger prize pigs will get to slam their mouth into the trough more often if
Yeah.
they give us a good reaction when they win. Would you like to round us out? Would you like your rating?
Oh, yeah, look, I'm hoping that I can redeem it if it's not quite as high as I'd like, but,
Well,
let's
you'll
go
be
for it. Let's
pleased
see.
to know, Cass, that your rating is a respectable, very respectable 4.5.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Well done,
Yeah,
Cass.
well
No,
done.
no,
That's
Cass, you
top
got to
end.
give us, where's that prize pig reaction? You're a 4.5.
Yeah, woohoo! Oh, amazing.
Change your rating.
Sorry, you've
I
just
want
gone-
it a 3.
You just went to a 3 in our book.
It's 6:10. Hallelujah, it's 6:10.
You can set your watch to it. We do it every damn morning. G'day, Beck. How are you?
Hey, good. How you going?
Yeah, very simple. And we're well. 5 questions in front of us. If you get them all right, you get to pick the next song we play. Also, just for getting your voice on air, you're in the draw for Nova's free for 23. How good's that?
Amazing.
All right. First question. Greta Thunberg has been arrested at a protest in Germany. Can you give us your best, Greta? How dare you?
Oh, no, I don't really know that one.
Okay.
Liam
Well,
just said it, though.
That's okay. Just copy what Liam did, basically.
Can I ask you to say it again?
So she's famous. There's a quote from Greta, and she says, "How dare you?"
I mean, I could play the real one.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then
yeah,
you can
yeah.
try and
Play
emulate.
the real one, Ben.
So this is the real
Yeah,
one.
let's do that.
I just want you to emulate this, okay?
How dare you?
How dare you?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
It's almost like Greta was on
We
the
got
phone.
there.
Sam Worthington is joining us later in the show. He's in a new movie that everyone on the team has seen. Who is Sam married to? Famous
Yeah,
Aussie. Real famous Aussie.
Can I say this is my first time this morning hearing the 16 quiz questions? I think that's a pretty tough one.
That's not
you reckon?
tough.
I think that's a tough one.
I reckon if you
Where the
know,
bloody
if
hell
you're
are
like
you?
around your celebrity sort of goss at all,
I
you
don't,
would know. Adina in Avondale Heights. Do you know who Sam Worthington, the famous actor, is married to?
Hi, how's it going?
Good.
I believe, is it Lara Bingle?
It is Lara Bingle.
Thank
That's
you,
right.
Adina.
I wonder if she'll drive him into the interview this morning.
Maybe.
I think they'd have a PR person, I think. That's true. Hey, Russian flags have been banned from the Australian Open, Adina. Who is the president of Russia?
Vladimir Putin.
It is. He's been doing it for a long time. Smith's Chips has collaborated with Subway, Mad Mex, and Red Rooster. Can you name one of the types of bread you can get at a Subway franchise?
One of the types of bread. White.
You can get white.
Very safe option.
Pretty boring. Do you get white when you go there out of interest when you get your foot long?
No, I get the darker one, the dark rye.
The rye, yeah.
I didn't know the exact name and I didn't want to risk it.
I would say that most people would get the Italian herb and cheese.
Yeah, just to
Who's
spice
getting
it
the
up.
honey oat?
Yeah.
I've never once in my entire life seen someone or heard someone order a honey oat.
Could be nice. I think we shouldn't
I reckon
discount
they'd only
the
put
honey oat.
I reckon they'd put 2 logs of honey oat in the bread retarder in
Yeah.
the morning.
Yeah.
And yes, that is what it's called. Madonna has announced a huge tour to celebrate her 40 years in the industry, Adina. Can you finish these classic lyrics?
Touched for the very first time.
Wow. Very well done.
Nice. Adina, You're in the draw to win a hell of a lot of money with Nova's Free for 23. A grand in your bank account every damn week for a year.
What's bread retarder? Is that like the dough that
Didn't think we'll come back to that, but yeah.
Well,
no.
I was blown away that you just knew what that was.
Yeah. No, I used to date a sandwich artist, so I know some of the the in things. But yeah, no,
is that the bread before it's baked?
Yeah, so I think if you work at Subway, it comes in like a frozen log, like a small frozen. It looks like a little sausage roll.
They don't bake it fresh.
No, they say they do, but they get the frozen stick and then
they heat it up.
Then
fresh.
they put it in
Yeah.
to the machine and
Right.
then and it expands.
There you go.
Anyway, Adina, enough about Subway. You get to pick the next song we play, right? So you got two options this morning. There is one option that we were pushing yesterday.
That's where I'm going. Where are you going? Hold it close.
Newton Faulkner. We love that guy. Or would you like to hear this classic? Killing Heidi. What's it going to be? Is it going to be Dream Catch Me? Or is it going to be Where?
I think we're going to have to go with Dreamcatcher.
I was criminally profiled yesterday, Ben and Belle.
As a mid-20s white dude.
Yeah, I was. After work yesterday, my fiance called and asked if I could just pop down to the shops to grab some corn. Corn for supper. Because we're a big corn household. We have a lot of taco bowls. And also corn ribs. Don't know if you've seen that on TikTok, but like honestly, it's one of the best things you can do if you go
I'm
barbecue.
a veggie. I live off corn ribs.
Corn, just
Corn
a bit
ribs,
of paprika
the
on
best.
it. Oh, awesome! Corn's great. Anyway, our new studios are above the Coles on Clarendon Street in South Melbourne, and I feel like they might have some shoplifting issues maybe because there's some pretty heavy security guards there. Like they're nice, but they're like they're pretty strapped up. They've got like tactical vests on, and when there's like more security than usual in like a Woolworths or something. It's like obviously they've got some problems with it. And so we share a car, my fiance and I, and I took a little longer than I was expecting at work. So she was waiting out the front for like a fair while. So I was in like a bit of a rush, right? So because of that, I went through the self-serve and then I legged it like out to the car. And I'm assuming because of my pace and, I don't know, potentially my appearance, the security guard, I think he thought I was a corn thief. And so as I was like sprinting out the shops, he was like, "Oi!" And I was like, "Ugh," and I'm like, and I like looked back. 'Cause I was like, "Oh, a fight's breaking out." And he's like, "Stop!" And then, I literally had to like explain. I didn't have a receipt, but I explained to him, no, I went through self-serve.
Oh my God.
I had to explain that I didn't steal the corn.
I've always wondered that with self-serve, if you don't get a receipt, do they then take you back to the one you used and they look through the history or something?
No, I think
like, how do you prove that
I
then?
literally was just like, "Oh, I'm just getting there," and I think he saw what I had. So yeah, he let me off.
That's so funny. They're so sensitive that you running to the car triggered them.
Which was
doing
good.
their job. That's good.
It was good because I did steal the corn and a few $100 from the cash register. So lucky I fooled him, I suppose. If you would like to head to Sam Smith, 13-24-10, great time to call Ben, myself, and Belle.
Yeah, Liam, we've left this in your capable hands, giving away these tickets, or the way we give away these tickets. You've had some absolute stinkers, but I think this might be your worst idea yet.
You think so?
We've had Spam Smith. Tim Tam Smith. Ham Smith. Jam Smith. But now the new game that all the family can play along to. Yam Smith. It's a sweet potato in America.
Yes. It's getting a little long in the tooth. There is a meeting after the show today, and I feel like that could be the meeting that puts a bullet in this particular segment, but we'll see, I suppose.
Nat in Strathmore, have you heard the other games so far?
I have.
Yes.
Have you enjoyed it enough that you want to see it go for 2 more days?
Maybe, if I win.
Well, we'll see. So I do have a yam, sweet potato, in front of me. I'm going to sing a Sam Smith song. If you can tell us which one it is, then you win. Question, guys, do I go... So obviously, we all know what a sweet potato looks like.
You've got the whole thing. You haven't diced it up.
Yeah.
It's just a raw
Do
sweet potato.
Do I go like thin side or chode side? What side do I put in? Like, do I play Yam Smith on hard mode and put the big
I would
fella in my
say
gob?
the
or-
further down.
I was going to be more impressed if you went the thin side, but you got it in further.
Okay, I don't have much of a gag reflex though.
Just try it. You can always
No, I
reset.
do. No, sorry, opposite of that. I do have a gag reflex. So I'm like, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, don't say it.
Nice.
All right.
Ben.
All right, now I'm gonna chuck it in. So
All right,
thin
Nat.
side in.
Yep, so you have to tell us the name of the song that Liam is singing.
Okay,
He's
here
going
we go.
thin side in.
Oh, come on.
No, don't have a
Are you
gag.
serious?
Okay. But when you call me baby,
What is the Sam Smith song called, Nat?
I'm not the only one.
Let's find out. Yes, that is correct, Nat. Well done.
Thank you.
And you said if you win, you'll like to see another day. What do you reckon? Clam Smith tomorrow?
Sounds good.
All right, nice one.
Well, Sam Smith is bringing Gloria the tour to Melbourne, playing Rod Laver Arena Tuesday, October 31. Get your tickets today at midday. For details, head to frontiertouring.com.
What do you reckon, guys? Were you impressed with how far I could yam that yam into my
Jam
mouth?
the yam.
Belle was, and I could see her going deeper, deeper.
Yeah, mate. Ben, Liam, I need your advice at the moment. As you know, obviously we have moved interstate for this show. We came from Adelaide to here, and I have left my boyfriend of almost 2 years now back in Adelaide where I met him.
Which is a tricky one because, Belle, you were always Melbourne, and then you were the one having to move around for Ben and myself. Like we, Adelaide guys, but we were doing a show in Sydney when we first started working together, so you moved then you moved to Adelaide with us, which was great for us because that's where we're from and, our wife and fiancé is from.
And Belle, Liam and I know you pretty well. And I would say this must be tough for you because you said 2 years.
Yeah.
You've never dated anyone for more than 12
No.
months.
Yeah, that's
11
it.
months is my average.
Well, it's serious when that's the case. But finally moving back to Melbourne, your hometown, but then, you've fallen in love in
Yeah.
Adelaide. So
Yep.
it's become a tricky thing.
So my boyfriend Luke, he has 2 kids of his own in Adelaide. So that's the main reason why it was, all right, I'll go to Melbourne and you'll have to stay here for
Yep.
the kids. And so far I've seen him almost like basically every week, gone back every weekend,
Yep.
flown back. I'm using points, I'm using savings, and it is, it's getting really tough. And I miss him. And sorry, this is going to be the longest we've been apart now. And I love him so much. And it's getting really tough. But as you know, I love this job and I love you guys. And I made this decision to move over. So he listens to the show every morning. But it's really tough and it's starting to dawn on me. Sorry. And it's really starting to get me down. So I was hoping maybe this morning, if you've ever had done a long distance relationship, how you went about it, because it's really tough.
Yeah, Belle, it's, I personally, the girl I fell in love with marrying at the end of the year, we were, same sort of deal. I was in Sydney at the time, she was in Adelaide, and we did long distance for 7-8 months. So, and we, lined Jetstar's pockets. So we were flying back and forth every weekend. And that, the travel thing takes its toll as well. But that was, we were like 20 at the time. So that's taking out the whole, adding kids into the situation.
Yeah.
It's obviously doing long distance is a little bit trickier as an adult. But I think now more than ever, a lot of people are doing that. People who've met online and then all of a sudden there's these long distance relationships that have formed. Even with COVID, some people are stuck in completely different states and just they didn't even plan on having a long distance relationship, but then all of a sudden they just had one for a year and a bit.
Exactly, and that's the thing. I feel so lucky because we are in a position that Luke is in Adelaide and I'm here. And the flight, you get up in the air and you're basically landing within a second.
Yeah.
Whereas, people did have to do this interstate and internationally for a very long time. And I'm not saying that I've got it the hardest by far, but it is once you start doing it and you realise that there might not be an end point. Like, I don't know how long we're going to be doing this show for. And he can't leave his kids. They're too young. he doesn't want to move already, and I don't want to make him move.
But you also got to stand. It's not a death sentence for your relationship. Like some people can completely make it work, and I get what you mean though. How it's like you don't know how long it'll be, like this annoying situation of going back and forth. But I think that's why some advice for Belle or anyone in a long distance relationship would go a long way this morning. 13 24 10 is the number. If you've done it, how did you handle it? How did you get through it?
It also goes without saying, Belle, that Liam and I obviously appreciate you endlessly for making this move for us, because for me it's very sobering realising that you're not going to be seeing him for, like 2 weeks, and then that's the shortest. That's
the shortest we've ever been apart. Like, when we met, as you guys know, I think you witnessed how much I fell for him, and we never spent a night apart since, because it's just so beautiful with him. And now looking at it and going, well, I don't want to book flights for 2 months in advance because I don't know what we're going to be doing.
Well, look, Melbourne, let's help Belle out this morning. How did you make long distance work?
New show kicked off here a few weeks back. We used to do the breakfast show on Nova in Adelaide, and that's where we're from. Apart from Belle, she's from Melbourne. Finally getting to move back to your hometown for once, Belle. But it's become a little bit trickier than that.
Yeah, so like you said, Liam, so we were in Adelaide for 3 years, but I am from here originally. But while I was in Adelaide, I met my current boyfriend, Luke. And now we've just moved back here and now doing long distance with him because he has 2 young kids in Adelaide. And I didn't want to, I'm not going to separate him from them. So we're doing long distance, but it's starting to really set in now as to how we go about planning when we see each other and how often we see each other. I'm starting to dig into savings for flights, all of that. And it's really starting to dawn on both of us, Luke and I, that, okay, well, how long are we doing this for? What's our plan? We don't have an action plan. I thought, we'll check in about 6 months, see how we're going. But then what? How long are we going to be apart for? So I wanted to know, 13 24 10, if you have been in a long distance relationship or you are in one, what is your advice? What are the must knows for doing it?
Because they do suck, but you can make them work as someone who's done it in the past. I didn't have to do it for as long as you may have to do. It was only 7 or 8 months. Sophie in Leopold joins us now. Do you have any tips for Belle on how she can handle it?
Oh, good morning, guys. But first things first, I just want to say I love the show. You guys are doing an incredible job.
Thanks, Sophie.
And Belle, I absolutely feel for you. I know how it feels. My now husband was in the Navy when I first met him, so he spent months and months at sea when we were first together, and it was really hard in the beginning because I, too, didn't know how it was going to work. I sometimes being in the Navy, I didn't know when I was next going to see him. So the best thing that I could absolutely do with him is just have open communication and talk to him as much as I possibly could and let him know how I was feeling, and then we would try and plan little dates. Like we did online dates. I know it sounds crazy, but we used to book little dates in a box, and I'd get one sent to his ship and I'd get one sent to my house, and we'd do little dates. Yeah, just little things like that. But as much as you can, obviously you're communicating with your wonderful partner, but just hang in there. It will work out and you'll be fine. But I can completely understand how you're feeling.
Wow. Sophie, thank you so much. Yeah, communication definitely is key. And that would be so difficult also with your partner being on a ship. Like, at least I know my partner is home, safe.
But sometimes doing very dangerous things as well.
Exactly. And but thank you, Sophie. I appreciate that. Nick in Essendon, have you done a long distance relationship?
Hey, Belle, it's Nick here. So I was moved by your compassion there, Belle, and your humility, so I just wanted to call in for a perspective from a male. And my partner, for about 10 years ago when we first started dating, I was in Sydney, she was in Melbourne. Like yourself, flying every weekend, very hard financially. Don't know when you're next going to see the person. I think probably my biggest advice to you would be, again, the communication aspect, but also not to really set the expectations, because you don't know what's going to lie ahead and you don't know what the next chapter may be, and something may remarkable come out of it and something may remarkable for your relationship may come out of it, which not many people get to experience that. So
thank you, Nick.
So it's I think like any good relationship, it tests the time of comms, and I think that's the foundation of a great relationship.
So as you said, you were interstate and flying back and forth. How far in advance were you booking your flights? Like, I've only started doing it for 2 weeks ahead.
The day before sometimes, as soon as I had enough. A couple $100 to get down to Melbourne, and I was living in Sydney, probably one of the most expensive cities in the world, and often at times I would have crumpets for a week so I can get back to Melbourne and see my partner. Right? Just,
Yeah, right.
But to make it work, right? But, and I think probably this was over 12 years ago, and back when there was no really face time.
Yeah,
like
I getcha.
So, so I guess, just keep open-minded and just roll with the punches. And it gets frustrating being with someone who you don't know where they are, what's going on, or, what they're doing. But that's just the foundation of any great relationship.
Well, thank you, Nick. Yeah, I guess this day and age we are also very lucky because I can communicate with Luke in so many different ways.
You are here with Ben, Liam and Belle, the new show on Nova. Only just sort of kicked off. I've been doing the show in Adelaide for some time before this, and that's where Belle's partner is with his kids. So they're just sort of dawning on them now. They're going to have to do long distance. So we're trying to get some tips on how to make it all work. Sandra in Geelong, do you have any comments?
Yes. Hi, guys. I love the show, and I do feel for you, Belle.
Thanks, Sandra.
I think the main thing is knowing that the situation is a changeable situation, and that if the other partner, if it's all going good, you know that there'll be an end part to this, because something will give eventually that you'll think, well, maybe now it is time to go back and see that there is a really good future with this person. But in the meantime, it is what the others say, the communication, and just keeping that up and feeling positive. Try to feel positive about, well, this person is really good and it is working for the time being, and we can see a future together. So that's the goal.
Yeah,
I think.
Just on what Sandra was saying there, Belle, it's a good point. I mean, I think anyone who's done one, it is the biggest possible test you can have, I think, a long-distance relationship. And if you can make that work, then you can pretty much get through everything. And a lot of people say that as well, although the times are really tricky during the week. If there is those weekends you get to see each other, it does sort of turbocharge your relationship a little bit in the sense that it's like, well, you got to make those moments really count.
Yeah, and I think I have been a bit negative about it so far and seeing it as, well, when is the end and is there going to be a positive end? But Sandra, that is a really good point. I think I do need to stay positive and take it kind of one visit at a time, and hopefully, like you said, Sandra, something will give, whether it's he can move here or whatever, and we can see the end of this.
That's it. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you to everyone who called through.
Yes, thank
really
you.
Appreciate your advice. Also, if you are having crumpets every day for breakfast, lunch and dinner, you can tap into some of the food that Ben and I have in the staff fridge, Belle. We won't, we'll look after you.
Anyone who's married or engaged, maybe you're just thinking about getting married, I've got a story that'll make you squirm. There's a video of it as well. The audio's no good, so I haven't got that for you, but it's hard to watch because there's a bride-to-be who was not jumping for joy after her boyfriend dropped her engagement ring whilst they were about to bungee jump. So they're up super duper high. There's grates in the floor. They're about to jump off. Man. So he's obviously got this grand plan where, hey, we're about to bungee jump. The adrenaline's pumping. I'm also going to propose to you. I like the idea in theory. She's crying. He then goes to she says yes, goes to put the ring on. As he tries to get it over her finger, he fumbles. And you can see their hearts sink as the ring falls through the grate.
I mean, as him though, when you see that you're on a grate and it goes down to the bottom of the bungee jump, wouldn't you go, okay, I probably shouldn't?
Especially as someone who is married, I got married last year, I know how nerve-wracking it is when you do the proposal, you're already shaking.
Yeah.
So the
when
fact
you add I'm about to jump up a cliff as well. Yeah, that's true. Your hand's all over the shop. Simone from Dingley Village. What happened?
So I didn't know at the time, but we had a lot of, we'd been together, I think it was probably at the time 10 years at the time. And my husband, and you guys are not necessarily familiar with Melbourne, but he booked an amazing room at the Langham, so right on South Bank in the city. And when we got there was an amazing spread of beautiful food on the table in our room and kettles on the bed and all the rest of it. And at the time, I think I was about 6 months pregnant, so I wasn't feeling entirely well. And, I thought I'll go make use of the spa. I came back out and my husband was also unwell. Now, he obviously wasn't pregnant, but he was, I now know he was extremely nervous. And so he was making a lot of toilet runs to the toilet. And, he ended up proposing, but we actually could not eat any of the food. We had an amazing dinner downstairs, but we literally just had a drink. And to that story that was just previous that you had mentioned, he's lost his ring twice. One of the times we got it back, so we did have to replace his ring about 3 weeks after the wedding.
Oh.
So, although it wasn't mine, it was his.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
it's not.
right.
You must love him if he's a pooing scatterbrain. You know what I mean? Like, you must really love the guy. Paul in Sandhurst, did you bungle the proposal?
Yeah, hi. Kind of. So my wife or my girlfriend at the time didn't wear jewellery, so I managed to sort of trick her into putting her grandmother's ring on her finger just to sort of see what it looked like.
Yeah.
So I could get it cut. So I then took it down the jewellers and got it measured and everything.
Nice.
And then we went to a mate's wedding in Sri Lanka, then on to Bangkok, then on to Koh Samui. And all this time I'm smuggling this ring through different customs.
Whoa.
Finally get to the date we were going to propose, which happened to be my father's birthday, who passed away. And in Koh Samui, had it all lined up. The ring was in the safe in the hotel. And then we went to the hotel, had lunch at the hotel. It was a pretty poor experience, which was a shame because that was where we were going to be doing the dinner.
Yeah.
Anyway, as it turned out, it ended up being quite a good story as far as tricking her goes, because when we went down to dinner, they'd set up this private table in this area overlooking the beach and next to the pool.
This is a long story.
Sorry. All right. I'll get on.
Yeah, well, it's FM, not AM. Yeah.
Sorry, Paul, continue.
Just trying to get in the zone, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I proposed, and then she said yes. So they brought the ring over, put it on her finger, and then about 3 o'clock in the morning, she woke up and said, honestly, I think my finger's going to fall off. It's completely swollen and I can't get the ring off. Straight down to the hospital, and then they couldn't do anything with it. They said, put it on ice all day. Went back to the hospital. She's in absolute agony, and the guy just said to me, right, there's only one thing for it, and he calls over the maintenance guy,
Yeah.
and he comes over, gets his pliers out, and went snip, and cut them, and then just pulled it apart.
Oh, and the grandmother's ring.
No, I wasn't. It was the gang that I bought. But I used to get the grandmother's.
Sorry, I got.
Where'd the grandma
It was
come
pretty
in?
long, Paul. I got lost.
Thanks,
Remember,
Paul.
originally you said
That's
the
okay. Well, that's
Appreciate
sad.
that.
They cut the ring, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's where we got to there. The ring was cut.
I hope Koh Samui was nice.
I sort of started drifting thinking about Koh Samui. That lunch sounded lovely.
That's beautiful.
Well, there you go.
It was
I
a pretty
like
good.
Paul, though.
If Paul just told her in like 20 seconds, it would have been a pretty good story.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
No,
yeah.
he gets in the zone.
Yeah, he was getting us there.
A-O. Or A-O.
I'll have what she's having.
Good morning to Jackie in Sunshine. Have you heard this one before, Jackie?
No, I haven't.
All right, we've been playing it every morning. It's pretty simple. There's a grunt you're going to hear. It's either from the Oz Open or an adults-only film. You think you can tell the difference between the two?
Hopefully.
We're about
risky.
to find out. Now, I know what the sounds are. Belle, you don't know. Liam, you don't know. So, Jackie, you can feel free to phone a friend. You can ask Belle. You can ask Liam what they think as well. Let's see
All right.
about the first one.
Adult entertainer.
You think adult entertainer. Liam, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, probably.
I agree.
Unless it's someone like really upset with a bad shot or something.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're all going adult entertainer for this?
Yeah.
That's tennis.
Really? Sounds like someone...
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry, Jackie. Sounds like someone in pain, doesn't it? That's why I thought it was adult entertainment.
Harley joins us. Good morning, Harley. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad yourself.
Yeah, pretty good, mate. Here we go. Sound number 2.
Okay. Yeah, that's a quick one. Can we get that
quick,
again?
tricky one.
Yeah. All right, here we go again.
I mean, it's so short.
Harley, you go first. What do you think?
Oh, I'm going to go I'll go the open.
Okay, but what were you thinking?
No, I think adults only.
You think adults only, Liam?
I reckon it's a trick.
No. It does sound like a trick. I'm going to back Harley, and I think it's also the Open.
Okay, so we're locking in Australian Open, Harley?
Yeah.
No, it's adults only.
Damn.
This is a hard game.
This is a tricky one.
I would say so far, it's been probably 8 out of 10 have been wrong.
Yeah, all right. Well, moving on to Daniel and Taylor's Hill. All right, here's the sound. You got to tell us if it's AO or AO.
We'll go AO.
You might have to be a bit more specific, but, you know,
Well played.
To be fair, it was a pretty good down-the-line answer. I mean, I think we all know, right? I mean, that's got to be Belle. I mean, I feel like it's adult.
No, Daniel can go first. Daniel, what do you think?
I reckon the Australian Open.
Do you reckon? No, real? You reckon someone's lining up there at Margaret Court Arena and they've just served and they make this sound?
They get pretty bad.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's why we play the game. Yeah, true. All right, well...
The choice is yours, Daniel. You get
Liam
to
and I
lock it in.
think tennis. I think adults only, but Daniel, if you think tennis...
All right, I'll go with you guys. We'll go adults only then.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
It all pays off, Daniel. You are heading along to the tennis.
Beautiful.
Sam Johnson, the Aussie actor and philanthropist, he was on the morning show yesterday morning, and they did ask him about how he's feeling about the state of Molly Meldrum.
Yeah, so Sam Johnson, if you don't know, he was the one that played Molly in the Molly biopic.
I know he's done a lot of stuff, but that's the main thing I know him from, being the Molly guy.
Correct. And if you don't remember, he was actually claiming a gold Logie a few years back, and then Molly Meldrum jumped up on stage.
That time he didn't get his ass out, though. But it did have similar energy when the real Molly Meldrum... It's sort of like that gate crashing feeling of he's up on stage, and obviously
Did
this
a
guy's...
Kanye.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, I'm going to let you finish. But yeah, he's obviously a legend, and that's probably why these things happen sometimes.
Yeah, so on the show yesterday, they did ask him about how he thinks Molly Meldrum is currently going.
Is he okay? Who are his minders? He shouldn't be allowed out in the PM. He's sozzled by that time. He has 2 shots of vodka in his coffee in the morning. If I want to make any sense out of him, I've got to see him before midday. Stop, Molly. I haven't spoken to him since the Gold Logies, and I'll never speak to him again. He cost my charity $1 million that night. Can someone look after him? Can someone care for him? Can someone... I'm really worried about him. I'm not cross at him. I'm just really worried.
Yeah. Okay. So he kind of does a bit of a 180 because at the end he's like, I'm not mad. I'm not angry.
Yeah.
I'm just worried.
It
but you can hear in his
like
voice.
He's angry, but he's probably, I suppose, angry at the situation, right?
Yes. I feel like we all feel like that though at the moment about Molly. Like it's a bit of, all right, mate, don't do that. Like, but also, is he okay?
It does seem like that. It seems like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've had a grandparent that's way past it, and they shouldn't be allowed in public, really, because they've lost their marbles, let alone on stage. It does seem like he shouldn't have been able to get to that stage in the first place.
Fun fact, I wheeled him around once, Molly Meldrum.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
In a wheelchair?
Yeah. No, I was at the it was at the Arias, like the music awards, like in, I don't know, say like 2017, and there was this weird staircase bit, and then this lady was sort of like having trouble with his wheelchair, and so I helped, naturally just like helped her out. And then like when I was like helping lift the chair, I was like, oh my God, that's Molly Meldrum.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Can I get a photo with you? And he said, yeah. And then, got a photo with his bum. No. That last bit didn't happen. But he was like, pleasant guy.
Yeah, okay.
What's trending?
Trending all over the internet. Twitter.
Instagram.
Welcome to Facebook.
Well, get ready because Madonna has announced a greatest hits tour.
I think this is my favourite Madonna song. I know it's probably not like, in the top 5 of her best ever, but I mean, JT, Madonna, what a team up.
Such a banger. Well, she said that it's all about celebrating the 40 years in the industry for her. She's playing 35 shows. It's called
Looks like she's been in the industry for 400 years.
Well, it's all happening in the second half of this year. It's called the Celebration Tour, and she has said that she'll be playing all of her songs. It will go maybe for hours.
All right, well, lock that in if you're a Madge fan.
And the new Miley song, Flowers, may not be an original. If you have heard the brand new song, it came out last week, speculation that it's about Liam Hemsworth and her. If you're getting deja vu from listening to it, though, you're not alone. Listen to this comparison of her song alongside Bruno Mars's When I Was Your Man.
I should have bought you flowers. I can buy myself flowers and held your hand, and I can hold my own hand. Should've give you all my hours, talk to myself for hours.
It's definitely parallel.
It keeps going.
Party 'cause all you wanted to do was dance. I can take myself dancing.
Now, look, you can't blame her. There would be a team of writers behind this whole thing, surely. And look, you could just say it was in their head and they didn't know. They thought it was an original and it wasn't. We don't know.
Bruno don't play like that. She best watch her back. We could have some gangster-style East versus West beef between those two.
And finally, being drunk in public here in Melbourne will no longer be illegal. From November, you can now be drunk and, well, maybe not disorderly, in public, and you won't be taken into a cell. You'll instead just be taken home.
Oh, Belle, that must be a huge relief for you. She's already on.
Already cracked one.
4th of the morning. Obviously, we know you like smoking during the song, but it's been a problem as well. There we go. Another Bundy can.
I don't know where these jokes came from. I had one mimosa in the studio the other day.
Well, that is true. Maybe that's where it came from.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.